Oh, we're back.
Yeah.
We're back with part three of our Halloween End spoiler review.
Because that's how much we have to say about this.
I'll have more than that. Then we're going to break it down into a million other little videos
I'm sure.
about more niche, kind of thoughts. But yeah, guys, if you already have not listened to parts 1 or 2, go check those out first. Now we're going to do part 3. We've already talked a lot about the movie. There's still a lot more to discuss. Voice of Reason, Are you ready?
I'm ready.
If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe before we have a chance to scare you off, okay?
Yes.
See, well, you make a good point right there.
Yes.
That is the theme. That is the music. That's the score. That's the feeling that we associate with Halloween.
Yeah.
And yet, even though I know it was in the fucking movie, I don't start commenting, troll, you're stupid. It was in the movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't used well in the movie.
Yeah.
And the movie did not feel spooky. Did it feel spooky to you?
It didn't. That was part of the reason why I was feeling so discombobulated throughout the whole thing.
In our first couple of reviews, we talked a lot about the beginning and the middle of the film. So let's focus more on the ending here now, on that last 20 or 30 minutes or so. All right, here's the deal, guys. I'm going to tell you this. When the movie ended, and thank God it ended, Voice of Reason here had to run to the restroom. I ran outside of the car. Now, you're wondering, why would I point this out? When you run out to the car on a dark night after a Halloween film, shouldn't you feel some element of creepiness?
Yeah.
Especially in October.
Absolutely.
Normally, I'd have like a jump scare if like I slammed the door hard or something. And like you kind of look at all the people.
Footsteps behind you.
Yeah, something. There should be some element of creepiness in the air still. Like it's kind of like when, I remember as a kid, I watched Halloween 5. And I got up to go to the bathroom afterward, and I wanted like extra lights on in the house because I was just a little bit more creeped out. I was like, I'm in my house, but still, something weird's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Now, this movie didn't give me any element of creepiness, and the music alone can normally do that. The music alone, and they used it so poorly.
We've been so conditioned, and I said that before in one of our other reviews, but yeah, it was conspicuously not absent, but very light on the theme.
Even when it's there, it's poorly used.
Yeah.
I think they threw it in when Michael kills the redheaded girl that's banging that doctor. And by the way, that subplot I really could have done without. The whole thing about
that just was pointless.
That time in the movie could have been used for more Michael, which I think would have been better, or for even more Allison, instead of trying to show you how Allison's dealing with these people at work and that she felt like she at age 20 deserves a promotion and everything. But I know, she's 20 years old and she's like, oh, I got passed over for a promotion.
Just finished nursing school.
You're a child. You have plenty of time to get promoted.
Yeah.
But when Michael kills that redhead, I want to say they did throw in the music then, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And Michael was strong, even though we had just seen him be weak. So again, a lot of problems in the movie because he was just weak a minute ago, and now he's strong during the kills. But for some reason, like, how about the fact that Corey beat him up? Remember that? Like, didn't Corey like beat Michael up?
Yeah, he got the upper hand. Yes.
Oh my Lord, what are we talking about, dude?
And there was no explanation. That was the thing. Like, if that was an integral part of the story, or it meant something, there needed to be like something to let us know, like, what is behind all of this. And instead it just kept moving on.
What a mess.
Yeah.
What a mess. So when Michael kills the redhead and he puts her up, he does his kind of usual move.
That was a classic Michael kill.
Yeah, he did that in the first film. He did it in some of the films that aren't in this timeline too.
He even did the little cocking of the head.
Right. That was very first film, right? The cocking of the head like a dog.
He likes to admire his work.
Yeah. So they did that, and the music's going, and I'm just feeling like, okay, so right now, let's stop and just take stock for a second. Right now, we've got old school strong Michael. He's not getting beaten up by a nerd who just got beaten up. Think about that. Corey got beaten up. Let me take a quick point. Corey got beaten up by those band geeks, and then he beat up Michael Myers. The band geeks were stronger than the guy who beat up Michael Myers.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? So wouldn't the band geeks, by the transitive property of ass kicking, be able to just destroy Michael Myers? Like this is so stupid.
One would think so.
What a fucking retarded movie. I'm sorry, guys. This is the worst. This is such a dumb movie. And again, I liked the intro. I was pretty hooked.
Yeah.
And then it just got so bad.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I had very high hopes as the movie began because it did really start off very well. And it was like, oh, what's Jamie Lee Curtis talking about? This isn't going to suck. This is actually really good. And then it just all went to something afterwards.
Oh my God.
It didn't live up to the first 20 minutes or whatever it was.
It was so silly. Anyway, let me make my point, though. I keep jumping around. When Michael had the redhead up against the wall and he stabbed her and he cocked his head and everything,
yeah.
I stopped and I did take stock for a second. And I thought, all right, we've got a very old school kind of scene that we've seen before, but it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a kill on a character who we've seen enough of in the film, and it's time for her to go. And we've got strong Michael, old school Michael, in his mask, the whole thing. There was nothing about it to dislike. The music's going and everything.
Yeah.
And yet I still didn't like it.
Yeah.
And I thought, why? Isn't this kind of what we want? I thought, no, because up until now, this has not been a Halloween film.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that scene reeks of some producer, they're sitting there doing the dailies, and they go, you know what, we need a scene right here that's classic, because nothing so far is classic Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's just have Michael stab this. Okay, yeah, perfect. Put her up against the wall. Perfect. And they felt like, look, guys, you can't say we don't give you the Halloween mood. Michael stabbed her up against the wall. He was strong. He kind of rushed at her, I believe. The music's going. There you go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's too little too late, you dumb son of a bitch, because this is not the tone. It's not the story. It's not anything that leads up to this kill. Voice of reason. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right.
So that's where I felt like once he started killing, it was just too little too late. I wasn't in a Halloween movie anymore. I never was in the first place. This movie was a weird indie film. It really felt like one of those movies, like we saw a lot of these in the 90s and early 2000s, where they just wanted to give like a real character exploration and just kind of show you all these confused kids and how life is hard, and you know what I mean? Like they're all just trying to work out life together. That has nothing to fucking do with Halloween Ends. What are you talking about? This is not a Halloween movie. Can you imagine a Batman film where like there's almost no Batman?
Yeah.
And then like a kid,
and he's second fiddle to some
kid who like Robin kicks his ass. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then Batman sort of does his bidding, but then Robin sort of does his bidding. This is just a silly hodgepodge. They wanted this movie should have been called Halloween Compromise, because all I feel watching this movie is a series of compromises. I feel like they're trying to check certain boxes so they can kind of call it a Halloween film, even though the heart of it is not a Halloween film. The soul, we'll get to the ending in a minute, guys, but the soul of it, if there's a soul in this movie at all, is not a Halloween film. This is just not a Halloween film. It's a tug of war of very conflicting ideas. And I will not stand for it, guys. I will not. I mean,
You're putting your foot down.
Sure, I paid the money and I went to the theater and I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I will not stand for it anymore. David Gordon geek, you fuck.
Wow.
How dare you? Anyway, let's talk about the ending, okay?
Okay.
Now, truthfully, I was so disappointed in this film. I was paying more attention to like my fries and my popcorn. I wasn't really thinking about the movie anymore. But let me ask you all this, and let me know in the comments. And Voice of Reason, you tell me too. When Michael showed up at Laurie's house and he was peering outside and he saw Laurie, remember that?
Yeah.
How did he know to get there? Did he even know it was Laurie's house?
Well, I mean, we never know how Michael ever knows where she is or where anybody is when he's stalking them. So I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
See, it's not like he's conversing. I don't think he's sitting down with Corey and talking about what they're going to do. There's no discussion.
No.
So I don't think there's any real explanation as to how he got there. Did he go there with Corey? Because if so, that seems odd. And does Corey even know? It just this is a part of the movie that really did need some explanation. Which is why if I were one of the creative forces behind the film, I just wouldn't have gone for this weird of a script.
They needed in that last scene at Laurie's house, they needed a visual to clue us in that he was there, because I did feel like Corey was speaking to Michael, indicating that he was there.
Yeah.
But it would have been a cool, thing to have, like that thing that they've done before where you see him in the shadows, you catch a glimpse of the mask in the shadow and then it's gone. So Yeah, I don't. So we have no idea. Like, when did he arrive on the scene? How did he know where it was? I don't know.
I mean, we see him outside, but I do think Corey was talking to him at one point.
Yeah.
Again, this is what I mean, guys. They have all. What I'm imagining is the writers are sitting there and the producers and such are sitting there and they're saying, "Oh, and then we can have a scene where this happens." And someone else probably says, "Right, but then why is Michael there? Or is he there under the guise he's going to help Corey or not help Corey?" And then I think they just said, "Fuck it, who cares? It's a movie." Just
at that point, is he stalking Laurie or is he stalking Corey?
Right. I don't know what's going on. At this point, frankly, at this point in the movie, I think Michael Myers and Laurie Strode have completely forgotten about each other. I don't even feel like Laurie is tormented anymore by him.
Yeah.
You know, it just is what's so stupid about it. So she kills Corey, or Corey kills himself. Oh, by the way, how dumb is that? There's a line where Corey, right before Corey kills himself, he says, "If I can't have Allison, no one can."
Yeah.
You say that when you're going to go kill her. He killed himself. So anyone could have Allison. You see how dumb that was?
Yeah, but he knew that by doing that Allison was going to blame Laurie for it, and that meant that Laurie wouldn't.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, I didn't give it that much credit. Good job. Good job. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you thought of that scene. That's interesting. I didn't think about that. All right, well, let's get into the ending, not just of the movie, but of this review, of this 3-part review.
Yeah.
All right, so once Corey's dead, Michael walks in. I don't understand why he's there. Does he know it's Laurie? Is he just up for another random kill? I don't know. But now Michael seems weak, doesn't he? Even though he grabbed her and he tried, well, not at first. He tried to put her hand in that was a good move.
He finished Corey off first.
Yeah. And then trying to put her hand into you know what was missing here? If I remember right, we didn't get the didn't kind of, usually the music's like did it like that suspense kind of thing. I felt like there wasn't really suspenseful music.
No, the score really does not live up to past attempts.
Yeah, it really doesn't. So that's the first problem, is it didn't feel Halloween there. I remember thinking, like, this does not feel like we're building to this big climactic ending and that Michael's this big intimidating foot. It didn't feel like that at all. And so then Michael grabs Laurie's hand. He tries to put her in the garbage disposal.
Yeah.
All right. So that was probably a good idea. But then the fight's really short. It's honestly not much longer than what we saw in the trailer. So think about how funny that is. We thought the trailer was showing us one little bit of one fight out of many. No, they basically showed us the whole fight.
Quite a bit of it, yeah.
And then she ends up getting the upper hand or whatever. And then and the word,
you're just a man.
Yeah, and he seemed weak, which I thought was odd. And then here was the part that really I like laughed. I thought this was so stupid. When Allison comes running in, and she's like Allison Van Damme, and she does that like martial arts move, and she breaks his arm, and I'm like, what in the hell is going on? You realize within this timeline, we've seen Michael be super strong. We've seen him take bullets and knives, but now, for plot armor reasons, you get to break his arm like that? Are you kidding? You broke Michael's arm? Is that really what we're doing? Yeah. And even Allison, like, she's not the greatest actress, but she looked ridiculous when she did it too. She's like, ha! And I just thought, this is fucking ridiculously bad. I can't believe an hour ago I was thinking this movie was tolerable. Now I'm just like, get me out of here. I can't believe what I'm watching. I just watched Michael Myers team up with a nerd, go on a killing spree of a bunch of band geeks who are beating up said nerd. And then on top of it all, he gets karate, fucking martial art, and broken shoulder against a kitchen against a couple of chicks. You got to be fucking, this is the stupidest ending. Halloween 6 was a way better ending. Halloween 2 was a way better ending.
Wow.
Halloween Resurrection was a way better ending than this. This is a bizarre ending that doesn't fit. It's got so many plot holes, it's unbelievable. Voice of reason, let's finish this thing up. Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, I don't think I hate it as much as you do, but it did end with Laurie keeping the mask, and that was an interesting note to end on.
Here would have been the way to do it. The ending should have been Hawkins and Laurie and Allison and Corey and Michael all kind of against each other.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like the 3 good guys against the 2 bad guys who are also against each other. And it should have been like guns drawn, knives drawn, everything in one big, huge, bloody, just complete fatality. That should have been how this ended. And in the end, we get a little moment where Laurie and Allison realize they're both going to live. That would have been like they're bleeding out, but the ambulance is on its way. That would have been the way to end it. Anyway, guys, I'm the troll. This is the voice of reason. We've had a hoot doing these 3 videos for you guys. We have only begun to talk about this fucking shit show of a movie. Like, subscribe, please comment down below. You guys are the best. We got the most fucking awesome audience. We'll see you next time.